Foreigners love to visit Japan. If you come to Japan, there are so many things to do. Like enjoying the amazing nature, trying new delicious flavors, explore the history, culture, and also you can take a nice ride in a fast bullet train. Also, there are some things that you should not do to avoid unnecessary troubles. So in this video, let's talk about the things that are not good to do in Japan. Tip number 1. Don't throw your trash everywhere. It is a bad habit to litter, but in Japan, it's not just a bad habit. Littering is illegally prohibited in Japan. If you litter in a beautification enforcement area, you will get a fine up to 30,000 Japanese yen. However, it's also very difficult to find a trash can in the public places. And why is that? A trash can was used in a deadly sarin gas attack in a subway train in 1995. After that incident, it became almost impossible to find a trash can in the public places. So, how can we deal with the garbage during a trip? The simple solution is to carry a grocery bag inside your bag while you travel. Like this, we usually collect all the trash into a plastic bag and dispose it when you go to your hotel at the end of your trip. And tip number 2. Keep always your identification verification with you. Japanese law allows police to stop anyone at any time on the street to see the identification. If a police officer asks for your ID, you are legally obligated to show it. It is illegal to walk around in Japan as a foreigner without either your passport or resident card with you. If you caught into police in such situation, no excuse, you can be arrested by the police. Tip number 3. Don't smoke everywhere. In Japan, smoking is illegal in the streets and inside the public transportation except the designated smoking spaces. Restaurants also have this ban except if they have a special smoking room. You may get a penalty including a fine up to 300,000 yen if you smoke outside the designated place. This law is also applicable for electronic cigarettes. So, before you light a cigarette in Japan, check if you are in a place where it is allowed. And tip number 4. Don't always rely on cashless payments. You can buy things with your credit card at most restaurants and supermarkets. But you need cash when you buy things from a small restaurant or from an izakaya. If you're traveling in an urban area, this won't be a big problem because you can find an ATM machine almost everywhere. However, if you go to a rural area, it is very difficult to find an ATM machine. I have personally faced this problem while traveling in the remote areas. So always remember to keep some cash when you travel in Japan. Tip number 5. Don't take photos everywhere. Photography and videography is not prohibited in the public places, but in some institutions it's prohibited. It's not a criminal offense to take a photograph, but some responsible official can appear from somewhere and scold you. Also, it has been advised not to use selfie sticks in some places. So, pay attention if these signs are displayed in the places where you are going to take photos and videos. So, even if these things are not illegal, avoid them to minimize some unpleasant experience. And tip number 6. Don't disturb others in the train. Train etiquette is no joke in Japan. It is something that Japanese people usually take very seriously. There are many etiquettes to follow when using public transportation. The first thing among them is that you cannot have food and drinks inside the commuter trains and short distance buses. Eating and drinking is only allowed in the bullet trains, the Shinkansen trains, or in the limited express trains. Not only in the commuter trains, but eating while walking on the street is also considered as a very bad habit in Japan. So it's simple, don't eat in the public transportation. Next rule, you must keep your phone on silent mode. Also, you cannot get a phone call inside the train. But it's okay to listen to songs or play games using headphones. In fact, everybody does it. And next rule, don't talk loud inside the trains. Inside of Japanese trains are very quiet, so other people might look at you like a freak if you talk too loud. And next rule, smoking inside the train is completely prohibited. I think you're already familiar about this rule since we talked about it before. Also, when you are waiting for the trains, line up at the right queue. Always give the priority to people who exit the train. Never try to push ahead or break the line. It is considered as really bad manners. So, in conclusion, Japan is a very good country to travel. But when you go to Rome, you have to be like a Roman. So if you are planning to visit Japan or settle in Japan, definitely remember these things. It is a very good idea to observe the behavior of the locals and follow their lead if you have any doubts. And please put a comment on your thoughts about this video. Hit the like button if these facts would help your next trip to Japan. And please subscribe my channel for more interesting videos. Check out my channel to get more insight about a foreigner's life in Japan. See you from my next video. Bye bye.